I really enjoyed the show, and whenever I see you on the cast of a movie or a TV show, I always know it's going to be quality. You have such a great eye for projects. And you're playing a former first lady here. How is it fleshing out the character? Because she really has an active role. She's much more than just being the main character's wife, and it'd be so easy to just make her one note, but she's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think her history, I really thought about her past history, that she's been involved in politics for years, decades. Through her marriage, we had talked about, um, you don't see it on screen, but when we talked about backstory as actors before we started shooting, what was their history, what happened, and we had decided that George had been the governor of New York State, so she had been the first lady of New York State. Then she's been the first lady in the White House, and has her own, has, is a lawyer, has her own. Um, you see, she's running, being considered for this judgeship, so she has her own professional life herself as well. And I just think she has seen so much and been through so much, as a politician's wife, and personally, they've had complex tragedies in the Mueller family, in the Mullen family, and so it just makes it, like she's seen so much. I feel like she just kind of is a straight shooter because what hasn't happened to her at this point?
Yeah, that's so interesting that you mapped out all that history because even if it's not said in the script, you feel it when you're watching. So I do think that
Good,
actually makes a difference.
thank you.
And it's great seeing you on screen with Robert De Niro, such a legend. You both are. What stood out about him as a scene partner? Because he just has the ability to turn that spark on and just really ramp up his performance when he needs to and really accentuate a scene.
Yeah, he is a force of nature and brilliant and very, spontaneous, in the moment. Will and I feel like when I started doing theater when I was in my 20s, I was working with a theater company, and we kind of approached things a little bit in that regard, like, let's keep it fresh. Let's do something different every time. Is you don't rehearse a play and then it's set in stone. It's a live, breathing thing. And the most important thing is the story, and let's stay open to each other. So, and I felt very comfortable being with Bob because I think his openness was something that was familiar to me, and staying open and not putting things into boxes and expecting something to be a certain way, is you know it's how I was trained, and I think it worked it worked well with Bob and me working together.
Yeah, and one aspect of the show I really like is that Leslie Glatter did all 6 episodes. The director really helps the show have a consistent feel and tone to it. What did you like most about having a consistent presence there, helming all 6 episodes?
It was very key to me in terms of even, it was one of the boxes that I wanted to check in terms of agreeing to do the series. Leslie was so uh, right, smart, sturdy, the beacon, hardworking, clear. And I felt this is such an advantage that it will keep the entire series together. Excuse me. That was a big draw for me. And I relied on her tremendously throughout the work, throughout the process of talking, before we started shooting. And I just felt like she was my anchor, and it was wonderful to know throughout the entire series that she was going to be the person to go to. Very comforting and important, I think, in terms of the keeping the whole thing, feel like of the same world.